It's happening. You're about to witness an energy move through you that you've never felt before. And now, nothing in your reality will respond the same. Right now, as you're watching this, something invisible is reaching into you, not metaphorically, energetically. Venus just entered a zone in the sky called Revati Nakshatra, and that changes everything. Never heard of that? Think of nakshatras like secret power spots in the sky. There are 27 of them, and each one gives off a different kind of energy. Revati is the very last one. So when Venus moves here, it's like flipping on a weird signal you weren't meant to pick up, but now you are. You might start noticing weird effects. Not loud, not dramatic, but persistent. Almost like reality keeps brushing against you in the wrong direction. If you feel like something's shifting in you, but you're not quite sure what it is yet, leave a comment with 111 along with your thoughts. And 777 if you're trusting that this shift is aligning you with your higher path. No pressure, just share what feels true for you. And if you've been seeing the color green more than usual on signs, clothes, lights, or random objects, keep watching, because it's not random. There's a deeper meaning behind it, and I'll explain the real reason later on, so stick around. But first, there's a stranger signal hiding behind all this, and it's coming through your ears. There's a reason why things suddenly sound off. A random tone in your left ear, a voice calling your name from nowhere, music that hits you too deeply, words that don't quite land the way they used to. No, your mind isn't playing tricks on you. The frequency grid is misaligned. And Venus in Revati, it doesn't fix the distortion, it magnifies it. This is the kind of energy that turns your world into a whispering hallway. A song might hit you, and you don't know why. Someone might speak, and it'll feel like they're not quite there. Familiar voices will sound unfamiliar. Ordinary moments will carry strange sonic weight. It's not the content, it's the tone, the rhythm, the echo. It's not about what's being said. It's about what your spirit hears underneath it all. And once you start noticing the shift, you won't be able to unhear it. Because something is trying to tune you, not through sight, but through vibration. You'll say it as a joke, and then it happens. Right now, your words are skipping the middleman. No prayers, no vision boards, just casual, offhand comments turning into actual reality. It's not magic, it's momentum. And this Venusian current is smoothing out the resistance that normally gets in your way. You'll say, I need a break, and suddenly plans get cancelled. You'll laugh. Imagine if that actually happened, and then it does. You'll joke, what if I just randomly bumped into them? And boom, you do. Not because you intended it, but because you didn't block it. Manifestation isn't always loud intention. Sometimes it's the quiet confidence of not caring. This is the kind of energy where the universe listens closest when you're not even trying. Your throwaway lines, sarcastic remarks, slips of the tongue, they're raw, they're unfiltered. They're not asking, they're declaring. And declarations, they vibrate louder than requests. So if something weird pops out of your mouth lately, take a second. Pay attention. You might have just cast a spell without realizing it, because the most powerful statements are the ones you didn't mean to make. You weren't in love with them, you were in love with the story. Right now, something subtle but powerful is happening. There's a feeling in the background, like the curtain is being pulled back on what love really meant to you. And it's not what you thought. Some people are waking up next to someone and realizing they don't actually know them. Others are realizing that the love they've been chasing, craving, sacrificing for might have just been a projection, a feeling wrapped around an idea. Not a real person, not a real connection, just a mental picture they didn't want to let go of. And the strange part is, it doesn't come with a bang. No fight, no obvious betrayal, just this quiet dissolving, a soft grief, like remembering a childhood friend who moved away and realizing you don't remember their face anymore. This isn't heartbreak, it's clarity with a pulse. There's something spiritual about this clarity, because it doesn't just point to the other person, it points to you. To the version of yourself you were trying to be so you could keep that love. The performative smiles, the little lies, the pretending to be more detached, more agreeable, more in control than you actually were. And now that version is falling apart, not because you failed, but because the performance is no longer sustainable. This energy is not about tearing down relationships, it's about stripping away the romanticized fog so that what's actually real can stand on its own. Some bonds will grow deeper once the illusion is gone. Others will simply fade, not because they were fake, but because they were never meant to hold this kind of truth. And here's what makes this especially intense. You might not even feel like crying. You might just feel still, empty, not broken, just done. Love that requires you to abandon yourself is not love. It's a performance with a beautiful costume. This energy is asking something radical. Can you love without pretending? Can you stay without performing? Can you look at another human being, flaws, fears, and all, and still choose to be there? Or just as importantly, can you look at yourself as you really are and realize that you deserve love without the mask? Some people will find freedom in this. Others will grieve what they thought they had. But either way, the mirage is fading, and what comes after is far more real. Avoiding the world doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're being spoken to. Over the next few days, don't be surprised if the world starts to feel too much. The noise, the people, the small talk, the expectations, all of it might suddenly feel heavier than usual. You might find yourself dodging texts, skipping events, or just craving a space where nobody needs anything from you. And it's not just you being antisocial. It's not laziness. It's not procrastination. There's a deeper layer behind this urge to pull back. This influence brings a strange and almost mystical invitation to step out of the usual rhythm. You might not know why, but suddenly, the things that used to excite you don't. The people you were dying to see last week, you're ghosting them now. Your favorite shows, can't sit through them. Your plans, they just feel like noise. But here's the twist. It's not about escaping the world. It's about tuning in to something else. When everything outside feels overwhelming, it's because the inside is trying to get your attention. This energy acts like a tuning fork. It makes you hypersensitive, not in a bad way, but in a way that heightens your ability to feel what's underneath things, the subtle shifts, the unspoken truths, the emotional temperature in the room. The reason you want to isolate isn't because you're falling apart, it's because you're about to piece something together. And that realization? It only happens in silence. It only happens when the distractions fade and you're left alone with your thoughts, unfiltered, raw, and real. You might find yourself journaling without meaning to. You might stare at the ceiling for hours and feel like time bent around you. You might even cry over something small. But the tears feel ancient, like they didn't come from today. This is a portal, but only if you let it be. If you numb out, scroll endlessly, drown yourself in meaningless noise, the message will still be there, but it will be buried, harder to hear, fainter each time. So go ahead and disconnect, but do it with intention. Light a candle, put your phone away, listen to a song that makes you feel something, And when the urge to run away hits you, follow it inward. Because somewhere in that stillness, there's a truth waiting. A hidden code, a message you've been asking for but didn't know how to receive. And just when you think you've heard it all, that's when the green shows up. It won't be subtle, and it won't be random. Remember earlier when I said there was one specific reason all of this might be happening to you right now? This is why. Green is not just a color right now, it's a signal, a marker, a frequency indicator that something is aligning in real time. It might show up on someone's shirt, in a neon sign glowing in a dark alley, in the wrapper of a snack you weren't even planning to buy. Suddenly, the green is everywhere. And no, it's not your imagination. You might think it's just coincidence. Until it happens again. And again. And every time, it's like a thread pulls you forward into something significant. A conversation you didn't expect. A chance meeting. A thought that clicks so perfectly you actually pause and wonder where it came from. Green is not a sign of nature, it's a sign that you're becoming the nature of your desires. Venus, the planet of connection, art, aesthetics, right now is broadcasting through symbolism, not logic. It's not giving you messages in words, it's giving you them in scenes. And green is one of the clearest pulses it's using. When it shows up, it's not just saying, "Look here." It's saying, "This moment, this place, this action, this is what's creating your ripple." If you're scrolling and green flashes before your eyes right as you think of someone, text them. If you're about to take a different turn than usual and you see green right at the corner, take it. If you're doing something and green surrounds you, don't stop. Because this color is not just random decor. It's the manifestation echo. It's the feedback loop confirming that you're close, very close, to something you've been energetically building without even realizing it. Pay attention. Not because something bad will happen if you miss it, but because something life-changing might happen if you don't. No warning, no trigger. Lately, people have been reporting this exact sensation. A random surge in the chest, a pulse that feels like electricity moving fast through the body, but only for a moment. It doesn't come with fear. It doesn't come with panic. It just happens, then leaves you standing there wondering, what was that? These aren't anxiety spikes. They're not caffeine, and they're not your imagination. They're micro-blasts of adrenaline that seem to fire for no reason at all. And yet every time they hit, something important is happening in your subconscious. You might be doing something totally mundane. Washing dishes, scrolling, sitting still. And suddenly your heart jumps like it just caught up with something. You take a deeper breath. Your body vibrates for just a second, and then it's gone. Your nervous system has already seen what your mind hasn't caught up to yet. These pulses are part of a deeper shift, happening in your body's ability to track energy. When Venus moves like this, it's not just activating emotion or attraction, it's activating somatic intelligence. Your body starts responding to energetic shifts before your thoughts even process what's going on. Think of these microblasts as pre-synchronizations. Moments where your body knows you're approaching a timeline jump, a reality click, and it gives you a charge, a signal to prepare. Not with fear, but with presence. This might show up right before you bump into someone important, or right after you made a decision you didn't think much of, but that will change something major. Or maybe it'll just hit you in a quiet moment, reminding you that something is lining up, and your energy already knows. Don't ignore these. If you feel it, pause, breathe, look around. What are you thinking about? Who just texted you? What are you about to say? Because the moment you feel that spark, the universe might be charging the next move with you. It was right there, and now it's gone. This isn't just forgetfulness. This isn't just you being clumsy or distracted. Lately, something's been off. Objects aren't staying where they were. Items you know you placed in a certain spot are suddenly not there. You check again, same place, same drawer, same bag. Nothing. Gone. Then, just as mysteriously, it's back. Sometimes hours later, sometimes days, and always in a place you already searched multiple times. This is not random. This is a Venus in the final gate anomaly, a softening of the material grid. You're not losing things, you're slipping between phases of reality where their presence isn't locked in anymore. Reality is still real, but it's not behaving the way it used to. When Venus crosses this space, the boundaries between form and thought start to melt. You may feel like the veil between what's real and what's almost real is thinner than usual. This doesn't just happen with physical objects either. You might forget entire conversations only to remember them in a dream. You might swear someone said something to you, but they didn't. Or at least, not in this version of the moment. It's the gatekeeper effect. Final phase Venus isn't interested in linear timelines or solid facts. It works in glamour, symbols, and misdirections. And right now, it's dissolving unnecessary anchors. If you're losing objects, there's something deeper happening. Either they're being removed to redirect your focus, or they're reappearing after you've energetically aligned with the version of you that needs them again. That shirt you were going to wear to bump into someone? Gone, because that meeting wasn't meant to happen. But when it's time, it'll show up again. That journal, that ring, that specific pen that disappeared the moment you needed it most? It's not broken. It's just out of sync with the version of this reality you're currently sitting in. And the second that sync realigns, so will the item. So if things vanish this week, don't panic. You're not losing your mind. You're just navigating a field of energetic edits. And the script isn't finalized yet. The eyes aren't just windows to the soul right now, they're mirrors and spotlights. Something strange has started happening, and maybe you've already felt it. You're in a conversation, normal setting, nothing dramatic, but then someone looks you directly in the eyes, and suddenly, something shifts. It's like the air gets heavier. The moment thickens. You see too much, and they do too. Not with words, not with expressions, just through the eyes, and it's intense, uncomfortably honest. That's not in your head. This final effect of Venus's current motion activates one of the most ancient, unspoken languages on the planet: emotional transparency. When someone looks at you now, they don't just see your face, they see your frequency. They feel what you're holding on to. The pride you didn't speak. The loneliness behind your laugh. The excitement that slipped through your smile. And you'll notice it too. You'll start seeing through people's projections, right through the masks, without even trying. You'll catch someone's gaze and feel like you just read 3 chapters of their emotional life. You'll know they're nervous even if they're laughing. You'll sense their affection even if they stay silent. And sometimes you'll feel an inexplicable closeness to someone you barely know. For some, this makes them avoid eye contact altogether. Not because they're being rude, but because it's suddenly too much, too revealing, too vulnerable, too true. And for others, it creates a moment of bonding that no amount of talking could ever build. This isn't social awkwardness, this is energetic intimacy. Venus, in this final celestial corridor, strips away the filters we've all grown used to wearing. You won't need to ask people how they feel. You'll feel it in their eyes. You won't need to explain how you feel. They'll already know. So what do you do with this kind of connection? You don't run from it. You don't hide. You lean in softly. Because here's the thing. You're not just being seen. You're being witnessed. And being witnessed is how transformation anchors. It's how timelines lock in. It's how the universe says, yes, this version of you is real, and it's ready. Before this ends, Venus will give you something quietly. It won't come wrapped. It won't come announced. And it won't even feel like a gift. Not at first. But sometime soon, in the middle of an ordinary moment, something will settle into place so perfectly, so quietly, that your body will pause before your brain even knows why. You might be walking alone and suddenly feel protected, like something just stepped in front of you, gently guiding your path without showing itself. You might get a message from someone you thought you lost, but there's no heaviness in it, just clarity. You might understand something about yourself, a small detail that unlocks a much bigger relief. A soft, almost imperceptible healing that doesn't feel like breaking. It feels like coming back to yourself. This is Venus's final gesture, its parting gift before moving out of the dream space. And the thing is, this gift isn't for the you who's watching this video. It's for the version of you who's just about to emerge. The you who is still forming. The one who's been gestating in all of these strange signals, the green signs, the adrenaline sparks, the echo predictions. All of it has been shaping the terrain for this shift. And the gift is a kind of whisper. You made it through the mist. Now here's something to carry with you. It won't be flashy, it won't demand attention, but it will change something in you. Quietly, completely. Like a sentence that ends without punctuation and still makes perfect sense. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.